Okay, so Edam you must yasaba Ebras 2016 you heard you bring my whole quiet dia kakai. Na ye de ho fonyi so kire now so do agentry etimidi brain. I'm a favor. Yo yibi oyarifa good morning. Ohwe bedwam. Edase. Former Ashanti Regional Chairman, New Patriotic Party Chairman Yawa Mankwa ene Obakofia Mankwa so anapay yada mo asese mo agibra mo hwe bi ma ofo Mr. and Mrs. Dakon mo Agric Wamase Kumase. Good morning. Da mo asese nya me de mo abedu this level. Na mo so magibra mo hwe bi. Mr. and Mrs. Dakon. Minister Kwaba, Deputy, we come.
Yeah,
Minister who ye? Barbara so who ye? My who's a team na yatis
Yeah.
Team no much here.
Did come mention at for na menkase oya manyoku na oko I can see mu na odi nkugua. In fact, nye nkugu nko after every elections bia no also come go back to the drawing board. Na hwe niema ebo a oni niema amwa onyina especially say wedding nkugu no. Na ebisa ho nsembisa bi na no me ba me ka kire se ukọ utwika na ka no ekoka atechemu a obi aduru na o kire ka aha wa hwe ya nema a wo ye mpo na eye no obi be ka kire se ne mpo na enye nti so onya ntobo ase enye rush so onya ntobo ase na obisa ho nsembisa bi na oni omanfo ne dinkita ho na hu nema bi wo kra na omanfo no be ka se enye but ebia na ete no monti ase so ati ase nti Bajoku no beko sa name anim na ono mo hwehwehwem menu Barbara for example oyobi a oye lawyer ni mapa so wonim so oye lawyer oyobi so a party na chiache mako offensive south or north mobako wagina as a candidate me ato ne so aba am say ben premier knows and premier nsa quite apart from that we deputy national youth organizer and so that and meneno so yeah deputy ministers or minister of lands and natural resources or you be so ebabunu jane naiso eno san yo ba
okay
nti migidi ye se omohwehwe niema bebree no mode no ka ho nti enyo no nko a yewura kwasi botwe unim se kwasi botwe so yo bia ne nim ye so kwa nim yie ono nso ka ho yewura hodi yaya no mo no ono nso oka ho nti yehwe anim se ye beko na enkoye blame game bebree wa ho niema bi wo ha ye betima be ka ne TV so radio so nya ni nyina na ye betima be ka na bonti ye be shia se edem sabi ye shia na obi pa obi ani so kra
better than that
so I say
all right so Deputy Minister Lands and Natural Resources outgoing Deputy Minister but still member of Parliament for Draboso Mpensenpensenmu Nanabu Mankama transmission from the 20th of December. Today is the 30th of December. Nana Buman Kama, good morning. Electoral Commission for signals is now clear.
I'm hacky.
I'm hacky inside. Okay, so the year in review, probably quickly, what comes to mind January? Yanko na Yohania say Imrantie Munubi Gitmo 2. How Ghana received it, the comments and the commentary around here, and yet Nasiano pay how there are a lot of reviews too within the year, but you get money
much in the same vein, my administration's decision to permit entry to 2 former Guantanamo Bay detainees, as well as some refugees from Rwanda, Syria, have been met with fierce resistance. I realize that our world is going through uncertain times. I realize too that no nation wants to open its door to terrorism. Still, we cannot let the fear of what might be cloud our compassion to make us turn a blind eye to the very real need that exists in our today's world. There are people who no longer have a country to call home. People who have been cleared of charges of all alleged crimes, and people whose only crime is being born in a country whose name is now automatically associated with a group of insurgents terrorizing their fellow countrymen and women. My brothers and sisters, Ghana has had a long history of humanitarianism.
So, with our history relating to humanitarianism, and then the president compassion, passion, and then humanitarianism, and so on. So, there are a lot of news by Ghana for the donor. Ekasa, because yes, because no, because 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 hey, have a target for or whatever, and all those things. I don't know whether you recollect these ones. They also kind, they empower now also kind. That time then I this deputy Mr. Kind.
Mahine medical kan asase we minya kan da wan hwe ya odi nkugu a bibia no yeso agu nkugu no so. Mate se menuanom bi kra e ka sesa decision of ampanyi take ye kan ho bi kra mpo na ama yadi nkugu no. Na se ade a ya wo wiase mu ni se sabe obi pesa wo boa no anase obi a ebia na nimidie ekofom ana obi a ne ho akere no na ofi se na nidaso ne na obeboa na wada ne wachi ade ama no na omampanyi ema ya assurance ohye ye bo se sankrofo ya mo bai omo ho nyi ho enu nti no ho behia se ye ne omo ebeden
Ebetina.
Ami se we ya madanse ni obi a ohwe me anopa bia e madanse ni se omo bae no yenya ho susuanso obo ne bia ye nyina yete oman yi mu ebinum mpo kan ya kan se ya hwe yi a to bombs ni ade kra abaye man mu ma amanfo abaye attack here rampantly ni ade but you will agree with me say megidi ye say amra omo bae kwan ye fa so gi ono no ema in the international arena no ema Ghana animonyam ekosoro ye ema ye president as ye mampanyi no so no di gina bia wo international arena no so no ekosoro nti megidi ye say enne na obi kra ebisa say nti nkrofo mo da ho man mu it tells you say wonum enye boni bia na mode eba o man mu na duduo na suru say nkofo nipa bonfo ya mode o ma ba o man mu no omo ankasa mpo betime di boni o man mu baako ama mampanyi kura ba bonte be ka kire omo say ye security for money eda wo no so 24 hours ni ade nti megidi ye say sabe no kura de wo ka eya tede bia eche ansa na obi a vindicate you but obi ahu bia kwa kosi say for some time now nkrofo yi bae omumfa nsusu aso boni bia enyeden emfa mre yen nti sane bibi yakopon panku boni bi si oman mu a na Ghana for yetumi tu bata e de kwa aman hodo so no saa so na so obi nso ba ye man mu a e was ye de odo ene nyamesuro e de gisa nkrofo.
Okay, but the issue was that na ayete said here nkita odi ene nkra towns relating to Sanipe Ghana no was shrouded in a bit of secrecy. But
these are issues of security.
These
are issues of security. Security asem. Security asem the mfa da room mo konkon obi anti asem when necessary. In fact, I was even shocked to hear obi a wogina America for anemu ene I think yes. Oba bontie kra be kan say samre ni mo no omo ye wild consultation no omo kona na akofo adokrafi eriko bisa na adwen ni ade wo e sa ne ma ne ho nti say security issues no say ba me gidi ye say okay say ebinum kra de sa semi court you remember me gidi ye say na anka omampanyi abrichi a particular clause na say mre pon bia anka na wode etie. But the bobo now, one very interesting thing I work Ghana for when they say, and somebody about be a chen adwin. Say papa, say your papa, and you work quite so be a chen adwin.
So you think it was a bold decision by this administration?
I think so.
It never affected.
I don't see it that way.
Okay.
So what you say? Let us be very careful in our analysis and answer the post-mortem of the elections. Okay. You're very, very, very careful. I mean, yeah, never be crying. Yeah. If you say nanka maya or din you didn't Barako blemu omampanyi anasa aban za numpo na wama yantumi ne nkone memu de ubisa ma adwenya meka kire wo se me hu from so bia papa no
I see. So from Gitmo to some of the major happenings 2016, that's sorry, say former NHIS boss Sylvester Mensah also in the grip of the BNI. DNA Manibasa, you're for Yiniambra and commentary and also Ghana for Yakafa any baby and the Yabedu and what it shows under this administration. Yakwaba. Okay, so era Sylvester Mensah on also the the asem potin pa ne say na ene de na nipa bi no susu say national health insurance nyoma ekokoso ho no efa sikasem ho na enhye danko yesa iti NDC panyin pa te se semester na bia na adwumako no eko to share no so in code na asem ne se sikawie bi ni sika bi afa ne search ni ne nsase ne nsem no bibiri ana eno so miracle so muku a de nipa bi ni mu kan eze we de rem kakra na say aban owo si wa ho nipa na otu sa na mo we nipa bi ni so bo say kasem it's a clear demonstration that ene de se Ghana aban owo so bia no wo na aban mu mpo na ofa kuntina se ana so ofa kwati kwan bi so supposedly na utu anamo bi ensem fata eno so ya de a mra eno obedi no probably minding say what buying there was so and say what buying there was so I kind of whereby as a surprise to you say under my watch now a key person of this sort now the Bureau of National Investigations be called so for these questions and then investigations about
Answer na meko hono mamenka se obi a one omampanyi John Dramani Mahama aya adwuma da bia no behu nipa su a oye na omampanyi John Dramani Mahama aya obi a mpem bebre no yemu binom blame ni mpo se decision bi wo nanka eye political decision that was so take but hu ni se da bi oman chechire na ye chechire enu nti se me take decision mpo na se politically me nyamfa so ho na mom going forward no ebe boa wo man na eno nti o wadwen fine efa Ghana man ho so atiase but yemu bebre ache adwen kanka party for that be that decision we there ni concern ka mampanyi eteki because if you say another derby decision where mampanyi eteki there MY in a political a points ni mu but me gidi ye say o kanokre na wo be of yourself ya mre ne wo mu na nyedenya obi anamafo de wo bo ebemba now on Sylvester issues no so Sylvester unua no your ba and we were downful enya ade abe ye de Sylvester obi oben wona wonim na obi aniwa oben wa wonim na be bompa ye se onya abanyamane. He's a very nice fine gentleman. Very nice gentleman. And unti me for example, as somebody by me yemu shebe, and I'm being honest with you. Me yemu shebe. Nenso e wo ho ne se obi aya abanya adwuma. Ena yesi ye hwehwe ne nkratam. Nti hwehwe ne nkratam a na se onifo a ebegya no. Me gidi yesi samre a ye kasa yi. Ne kura bia na aban pese ohun. Ewo ne nsika semu anase ne adwuma okoye ne ho bia no me gidi yi samre abanya hu. Yes Sylvester na nam hoi. So what you say? Na nsam ne ba aya ya prayer hu bu aten mpembe bre no nsam ne ba media ne mu ansa na especially say obetake decision crash won kasa ibegu wani mase poto media ibegu wani especially say what take decisions say won kasa ibegu wani mase poto obekom na mre baba mu no obehu se na no kra wo mu no se no kra bi kra wo mu aniswa enne ya na ye mare ho obi kra timi obi take advantage of the situation obi kra no wasam kra dada obi kra na mo kra hu ye na hin dada obi nso be timi aton obi nso ama obi am ya say no because of ebia amanyosem nti because of ebia personal problems are I know na ya na me what issues e wo ho sisi ai sa me ti asem o media mu a ene me ka no kra kire me check it ma cross check it nti e ka asem for obi ho a me hwe yi ansa na magedi because me a me ti hayi so obo me din na o connect no so a nsem e fa me ho e wo net no so I can tell you 70% enye no correct. It's not true but it's there. Do I hwe yi na sa wo gi sa asem no edi e fa obi ho a na woni nipa na ni yi and several examples I mean to me boso e wa enu nti no me gidi ye se esuahunu ene ade kakra ma sua free mu ni se asem eba obi eho a eya ye nya botre kakra ye beka mpa ye nhwe ne ka bia se ne be ya se no kra ne be dade a ye nkonu ye ho se ye ka asem bia te sa
But was that a plus for this administration? Say more money per mutimi, and I said it was for the cameras.
You know, for me, so what administration was, and I said,
or for Ghana
or mine Yebeka say so be a wa baimu na say yanti bias na yetimi tunu sisa de a ene na ye papa e kira mamupa e kira say irrespective of your status in the community no say mra no e wo say new dia ene obedi so what you say nti for me nanka e plus na me di kan say so papa bi no no a ana o me ba na say wadanfo no no a eye plus in my administration no
sasuna ye de chichiri mine eno na president demonstrating
eno there you can trust his excellency John Dramani Mahama for that. I catch you say sometimes e binu mukura blame me say politically but ofi say no Ghana mine ye nyina ya mine nti I was say chichiri mine yi na nchirima amre dachi nti sometimes you do baby or sacrifice a little of the comfort of Ghanaians. Now the chichiri o mine no so dey be ya ena yanko no milk so dey kwame nkroma kan ye no yanko bie obi be se mreche and oni yanko bie milk ene ani emfa manko for mo nom ne na daache no yanko mia na emom ye chichiri ye mine no ye see the necessary factories na ye see ye chichiri ya kwan ahodo ayaresa bia ahodo ene de aka no na fei no se nyuma samonso ekọ nanimo a obi ahụ se obi asiga na man mu a wo se oman obi obefi ba bia besi bia enne yakopon adaroma wo fiama no ne na wo si airport a umuga na bomfia and that was the vision of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Okay, yeah. I have never regretted say me a part of his administration.
Ye share nim say nemnyam for ano dompre eba beka yensa ewa nim say so mo de dream machebejani on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. Ye share nim say yensa beka yenko na ye mo ra bosume fufu mo 2016 mo ye kan wasemi na yanti asem de ye da sori ya nemnyam for JB Dankwa nipa binimu akodinewu say na nyemasi ko no ho system say na Ghana CG no anamontu be ni yetu be si ene ya yesi kase yenko yeba yebeto yenko bono
NPP amanyokuo no Frank Atuni na Nada Dankwa Ekufuado atonkra akwakoma mrahye bedwani a na ogina de mo manfo wo no ebu akwa na Badwam Mpensenpensenmu anipa bia akodi newu ana onyimachi no yakọ asan ahye wonden se wonka wonakoma emfanto wonyemi na Ekufuado se bra wotenkra no kwasem ni no ho adwire no nanso esiane se obi nim ne nam soma ne ba yenti ogya ne nyinam ede ama enhwehwemu yafo watoto asrega na de hye nyina wa se ne yekoso no edin enti ebehia se wono nyina betumi aboa na obi a wonim se wodie hu bibia no obema posifo aso atene nipa bonefo no tu sa na mo no yede wono begina emra ni ma emra ene wonom edi
je onu so che na no ba ya den ya mtina ha ya ose JB Dankwa ekunu msese me basa manchase vise nra juada no pa oni neire ene neire busiafo ebe be fie mesi ne ye neire no nisewa ni papa enua pa panyi aka baby if you also so no woni mini papa woni aba ko no and so ka baby ni afra he was madam for den it's one about the bon woman yes afra ni apanyi so aka baby tebi no din wani ba fio ye kasa no was nim samoni na wani na no branch guy block kasa ni jemu obi so no obon humo de woni ma bebremu nti tembia no kwa ni ma be ko yina bitumi ama eti so ni aye adwuma ya ma ne titu adwuma me yenso so no oka ho bi oya nua so fa ho nti Christ no de adwuma titu ano ya ma me obese bia da the spirits are come kakra be ba no be ba se be insane ya no koso we be papa for better say I mean it's as I am basa I me dream the year na mahua young girl living my young children young family I am yama on pa se be say which me aba so be to me calling them physical and desecration plano econo police for now and Bible say could be out which me afa ama bad say when e be sadi no e be cho na any brano and no want to me I ma rakwanso enye Ghana for ya mamre no nessa and the man kusam yes I console ya fa besina it's me am men person bisa bem say bia man ya prepare and amana banasa se banasa da fenaka.
All right, so Yasaba, that's it. It's a very sad one. Very, very sad. It came as one of the biggest shock for 2016. So Abrantia or Sisi Naka Abrantia guy always wish the late JB and now they sing Gususa and all those things. But so this is the news. Members of Parliament raise issues about almost security. And then Ghana, you know, so Kase, Edubra, SSA, empower our institutions now about investigations, about Kohareswa, Member of Parliament for Draboso, colleague, late. Igusua, Jemugusua, Ekoso, but also say, Emma, Mojumanon, Koye. If we say, ABC and no pair, Kase, Mashibjum, Mobambo Hunsis, and Bibia Bemana.
Yeah, my name Bibi says, see, I na de here pa say the besuya at your free. Na says, Obe fear what they are, a free summer na bepim samri no. Ya buy bon some akunanim kakra. To see a menoka say Parliament, Yankasa police post, or a whole district command, a woho, and acquire a fast so a receiver ho near the there be a packet cast, you know, and no, says I kakra abum. But maybe a person could do Mpensenpensenmu a person could do no and enya enru ho. Na some reason mo abekaya. I mean, MPs be brain ya attack or no way better say way yakono so ni ade. Nti ba ne sana ya na ewiro. Na da bia me can say who individual no only the first person that was say obo ho ban ansa na watwe wani kura akwa bi. Na Ewura JB no a promising person, promising young guy. Onim NDC and onim MPP. Ono bia ye kama. Onim akwala na onim panyi. Onya drew Parliament pre say ne bibi no de beto ne city so a no anante ebi o no across the maze no aba majority side on here be din komo be sresre. Nti sa nipa no e free musa oyam be hyew no abisa Yakob say adan. So nti no yo bia in fact ye nyina obia no obia ye kama na no ne me mahemfo ne ba kokra ye adwuma ohinana I think nana Kofi Krom hene no ne ye adwuma nti da bia no ni hia na obisa na say me so me man nkra no dia come so we're very very cordial na sa unfortunate incident no ekosi ye eno nti ye besre edu ba be na ye yen amanyofo no ye ba bontin ne be ka asem bi se ye fa yen ankasa ye ho a ne ya no aye dudu enim de omanfo no be ka e de afa ye ho adan monko na moye Ghana fo e wo man mu ana monko na adan ne yenya se but me gidi ye se e basa e ye Ghana ne bia ya e basa nso a oman no ka e be bono na konanim yi so e ka e be bono e dey provide security ama individual no e wo form essence say nipa ne be mu so what you say nti ye be stress edu ba bia aya wonom ene ye enya adwen enye de memepe ene se me nam na nipa di machi open this
literally mama say the ene yakra so privacy kwa do ni bedroom kwa ho na we di camp ba
so what you say nya de nipa epe no so hu but edu ba adwuma no edu ba na aba ne sa me and I'll be honest with you here not until JB incident no na me be deputy me say onim say me guard cry na me ni bi but Ghana for na so no wo de ma bibi nsinhwe wonni bi no ma bibi ono so diabu o che ne 100 deputy minister you are entitled to security one kofa na you understand nti me dream hu din am so well ma me mp bi a kira kwan ene ne ma nti e be se enyina ye de ho aba for de se de e betumi aye bia no Yankopɔ be me ahode ne aye e de abo oman no na amanyosem eye se ye kire adwen ne akima kire oman Ghana yenyi otan ene sa ntokwa sabi atefo asuma ntokwa hunu ene niema ensem fata no emfrim ena asem ne bese nso a ye beka kwa chie de abekwa follow nipa bebre eno so sa se ne bi kan no wan hwe ya initially no ye ba kugu obi kra anim ase wo enso ebe wies akire no na nokwa nankasa abedadi me kai se ya chi obi kra ageli obi kra wo sa asem we ho ahwehwem no eda so a ekoso but ye besere she said West enemy krano sasemwe ebeto.
Okay, your administration gave us a good laugh and almost my serious concerns about Ghana at 59 or changing Ghana president. Na Ghana president could be baby. Na president for France be Ghana. The surprise was that Obia Shebro Shunuma it took I think the same president. Yeah. So the point here was but what is this? So your father say Jumani to sing Cassia Power Honum. If it was in good taste?
Not at all. From so be anywhere, Papa. So what I say. I'm say na I am from so bit me at Ubia. So what I say. I am from so it to me at Ubia.
Not on a national occasion like this.
Well, that is why medical cast my catcher say enya de Papa. So inti who defend this as way I never defend him na kusi saying. Oh, when a year then they could see him
lenient dealing with people and also dealing with another acceptance. I see, but I see a question. No,
but catch say my style is that say baby BCB no going forward then you be free.
Okay,
that's my style. So nti anya dia ye dey say ni unim Ghana for ye dey asresem e bi so ani bray ye can say be bray e dey fa ho ni ade but me gidi ye say going forward no yade nema bebre egu akwan mu a begidie se enye sa administration nko a ye ko ye nim no masa document bia ni ha be pick a be ready from cover to cover wonya
yeah okay sir
it's I mean nsem bi o ha ye nhwe ne kaniye in as much as I agree say enya de papa amoayen amenya ready say me defend no the fact of the matter so they say nipa nti Bible no strokonkon no kraka o say bone e bata nipa ho ana say nipa de untumi nyese so abofo untumi
Okay, so still in the same match, one of the issues about parties, major ones, MPP, NDC, now I back and forth was the court ordering the EC to delete the names of NHIS card holders. But yeah, nyama bebree wo man adwenkyerɛ by bisi a akɔtwerɛ bisi say I kind of during that time what were some of the issues your party and your person raising about the deletion of names NHIS card na mo so say je dey enko back in delete obi and how do we
me na me wa adwe foforo I was asking we and yes you ruling in favor of petitions in na better cast
Abu Ramadan
in favor of Abu Ramadan na enemmeka asefoforo na gina ya court no esiye no me in person no na me no mo nyadwen me in person no
relating to the deletion
no na me ne court no nyadwen but hey that is the apex court in this country untimi nya ho hwe decision am take ye no na me no me feel say ye kasi ye delete sa edin no mu ewo mu a na me feel say ruling na buy no especially say na call back na de omo ye no na na niso because me raise a lot of arguments about say look obi wo ho a we register with National Health Insurance card so the moment we register with National Health Insurance card no utumi edi obi ho adanse e guarantee mo obi mani register so nti say wo legal status as a voter no a challenge there it means that untumi guarantee mo obi e mani register
refresh your kakra court on your baba can wrap up on that
anybody who cannot come and justify their names?
We'll thank the courts first and foremost. I believe we didn't get it the way we wanted. We are happy. If they had granted all the reliefs, we would have been more excited. But to say the court really, per its pronouncement, has done the job we want done by declaring the register not credible. By the court saying the register is not credible, it is even a recipe for disaster for us as a country. That the court admits that the register is not credible, that's even a bigger issue. So the lack of credibility of the register and the directive of the court that they should go ahead and delete and give opportunity for people to re-register. It is the same validation process we suggested. If you remember, all over the media we had said that, one, we want people who are on the register illegally to be given the opportunity to reproduce their proof of qualification to be on the register. Reproduce that document and register and make your registration complete. And the court says give them the opportunity to re-register after deleting them. So now the big question is, who are we deleting? By the directive of the court, who are we deleting? And I can assure you, we are going to change this matter.
The directive is very clear. It said that delete those with NHIS and even minors.
Is it one or two? Is it one or two people? Are there 20 people? Are there 100 people?
But the court did not know that. That's why.
Precisely. So between ourselves and the commission, we should come to an understanding that on the current register, we have 10 million people who are not supposed to be on the register, so we are deleting their names off the register. So that process is, we are going to make sure that the Electoral Commission complies with it.
But let me understand this part too. I mean, the court also ordered that they should be allowed to register, again, the people who have been deleted.
Clearly, that's what I'm saying. So it's a form of validation the court is asking them to do. Instead of giving them the opportunity to say, okay, you come and reproduce your source of identification to own a voter's register, I'm deleting your name, come back and give a proof of your nationality and come and register. It's the same thing.
So explain this to us. I mean, the EC is going to now say that we have deleted this number of...
Okay, so matters of delete, when you delete, when you man a quenya man sanya, a whole lot of you want on this one.
Now me want issues about our rule in the buy, na somebody can say obi echo guarantee amobi. Na nipa no I guarantee because the moment I will be register na yebema card no to me guarantee ma obi. Meanwhile, all the courts in papa. It means that I win the coin so guarantee ma obi. Meanwhile, say wow guarantee ma nipa no. The guarantee we on the
So it's one of the reasons why your party lost.
As in the
deletions.
Oh no. Oh, well, let's be very careful. But the catch out say I do not want to.
But it's it could be one of the reasons.
There's one lesson I've learned from this thing. Personally, I think this is the first platform I make answer the same way. Me who said that ye registration for
register.
Yeah. I say so because not because of the credibility of the register, not because the register was I think the register was bloated. No. Far from the Baumia. But what I've realized is that Uko constituency the rate of migration is very high. And you know Ghana for 4 years is long enough for people to relocate. In this obi wo dwaboso no abeti koko. Wo dwaboso last 2 years, last 3 years. No free dwaboso echo somewhere in Ashanti region. So what I say, na say abato ne emre ne so na oka say onsan emre na chi emeto aba.
It's impossible.
The probability say onsan ko na chi nkoto aba high and hence the apathy. So what I say, that is the so share registration a year closer to elections now. I record high turnout. That is my, and I'm saying this is the first time I make it. That's my observation.
Okay.
Who was I there with?
Yeah, because I could try one by about Yami for the currency Jake Utanko in the month of April. That was another shocking, sad news. Haiti Ghana for matters about Mahama Ford bribe and then the Muntie 3 remission NDC Manifesto launch and others in our Ember app. Now share the year in review 2016. Yakwaba, Yaba, Deputy Minister Lands and Natural Resources outgoing, but still Member of Parliament Draboso, Nimian for Community Akando. You heard him say Ninya na Yonko or Mashibijum, Ira Anodom Pre, and so on. Do Jiri Mashibijum needs to have a kind of Hadams. Yakwaba, Yaba try and come on. So 2016 in review. Siasa be mention be page mo by 2016 no man bi wo ho a attitude ECC, Abia brain team for the emblem. But the able bobo solo, it also as idea, a see a touch Ghana, a touch in the Padona, and it be walk right, see reef, a bad in. It been April, year 2 year, that's sorry, MPP Nima Pagana need this year, over a year, the world of advertisement, and so our Tronidia to honor late Jacob Tanka or Bechebi Lamte, and also the die, that's sorry, as well also Radiatonsa, Eddie Afreno. Honorable politician and a successful person, Ghana, brain back on also, no. Ebane say, what you say? How was it like?
Yeah, did you Jackie yo obia mention that ninya personal encounter there.
Okay.
My name from afar from a distance. Na oyobia very effective. Very effective. Me kai mra na Irakofo in 2000 elections na when election not a very instrumental outside elections. Name be on the bar on board near the no ma MPP for no akonya bebre. We yen so obeserve wo MPP aban mu near the ba ko a me yesi nipa wu a ye mo ne din bone near the ba ko man chadampe no ho the issues about the bungalow and somewhere bar up near the. But at the end of the day, no court they decide I'm running the year juma. If free horn so no I'm so be contested BM say na ka yen sign
For chairman.
yen fa chairman ne mani BM. I'm say party no so am farmer no. Nti free samre na ba na I'm say one scene that there mu BM. I'm say one scene that there be nti hu na uti say clearly o bi a onti akọ papa problem wo ho. Nti wo de ne fono sa na ekote ye say wawu. Anka ka me nko anka such brains ne kwan say lusu wo no e wo man yi. About this, mine I invested
a lot.
One Meti has say, mine boka mu. Into the immediate ya will be ano. A bay yes, I'll bet transnational dear boy mine on point you. So, when they come in, dear, and can such people no crank the bra. Also, when you near the Macusarium, there's a form that kind of thing. Nti, na ya dear bia na ya papa. Yeah, now would see any be so free. On one party for no more the close allies and so to say no you'll be or any papa.
Okay, it is fully a brain if I may call quickly almost all the pictures have been or videos. Mahama Ford, Monty 3 sentence and Monty 3 remissions in August 2016. NDC Manifesto launch September, Sobekaya and MPP's Manifesto launch, October 2016. Ibrahim Mahama issues about bribe allegations Bugri Nabu they got to November 2016. MPP winning elections December and then Mahama appointing Shraj NCC Auditor General December 2016. And Article 71 holders salary increased by 10% in IC December. So for you just quick one now femra back in wrap up na before and to so and let's see some of the visuals I will Edema Yakwaba.
That he was my campaign manager 2000, the campaign that got me into the presidency of Ghana. And he was a devout Damkwabuzia man, committed to the tenets of the tradition, rule of law, respect for human rights, respect for freedom of thought, speech and association. I was also a respecter of individual initiative, private sector. These things constitute the core of the Dankwa tradition, Dankwa-Buzia tradition, and Jake was committed. It wasn't too surprising because he was born into the tradition. His father was one of the big six.
all know the role he played in our democratic process from 1992 to date. He served as chairman of the MPP. And even in the most turbulent times, when adversarial competitiveness was at its height, I mean, people like Jake, maintained a calm head. And working together, we've always been able to calm the waters. And that is part of what has created Ghana as a model for democracy in Africa. And so on his passing, is only fitting that as President of the Republic of Ghana, I come to mourn with the family.
Strength. We need your faith to be able to lead this struggle that involves all of us.
Which led to the historic victory in the watershed presidential election of the year 2000. He retained position in 2004 election and retained power for President Kufuor's second term. He also served as the national chairman of his party. In the year 2007, he was one of the many presidential aspirants in his party. He had his very high and low moments and disappointment as a human being. Today, as we remember our brother and friend, together to receive him in paradise, the greatest remembrance gift we can offer our nation, which we serve, is peace, unity, and stability. For these are critical ingredients for development.
Of the moment. He has been the man of the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, great leader. Please be on your feet, ladies and gentlemen. Be on your feet. Wave your flag. Wave your flag. The father of the nation is just coming. A great man just coming. A man who is just coming. Wave your flag. Wave it. Wave it. Wave it. Wave it. Please. The great Nana Akufo-Addo.
His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor, Chairman for the occasion. The acting national chairman of our party, the Honorable Freddie Blay, my good friend Elimbele Blay, MPP national officers, members of the National Council, the chairman and members of the Council of Elders, members of Parliament, MPP parliamentary candidates, the regional campaign teams, the campaign sector committee chairman and members, constituency chairman, our former ministers, metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives, and party officials, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of fellow political parties and identifiable bodies, members of the media, fellow MPP members, fellow Ghanaians, my beautiful lady Rebecca and my daughters, Nana Dokuya Jankruma. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that we are making such a happy event out of the launch of our manifesto. It is a fact of our lives that not many people, all political parties for that matter in our country, appreciate the significance of a manifesto in a democracy. Some see it simply as a list of promises to attract votes, and not much thought or intention is given to their fulfillment. To others, it is an opportunity to engage in some light-hearted tomfoolery. For my part, I fully understand the consequence of putting your signature to a contract. A manifesto represents for me a solemn social contract between the electorate and the elected. The manifesto should also help the electorate to distinguish between the various political parties, because the plans and programs they would set out would be influenced by their ideologies and beliefs. By offering the MPP manifesto to the Ghanaian public today means I, as the presidential candidate of our party, sign my part of the contract. Your vote will constitute your signature on the contract and your mandate for me to implement the ideas in the manifesto. There is a dangerous lie poisoning our politics that must be quashed decisively. That is, the notion that the two major political parties, the NDC and the MPP, are the same. We in the MPP know from whence we came. We have never had any identity crisis. Right from our UGCC roots, through the various incarnations to the present-day MPP, we have held firm in our belief in multi-party democracy and free market economics, even when these were not fashionable ideologies on this continent of ours.
GDP growth is expected to exceed 8% next year. The budget deficit is currently in single digits, and we're expecting that by the end of this year, budget deficit would have dropped to 4.9%. In 2013, we took it at almost 12%, and at the end of this year, we would have brought it down to 4.9%. And in the next 4 years, my proposal is that a percentage of the annual budget funding amount that comes from petroleum revenues should be assigned to national health insurance. This would prolong the life of the scheme, and it's not only just prolonging the life of the scheme, we're also making it more efficient. We're taking out the fraud, we're introducing more computerization, bringing in new claim centers and all that. And so it will make the scheme more efficient going into the future. To expand the Youth Enterprise Support Program, for those of you who know the Youth Enterprise Support Program, we started it with 10 million Ghana cedis, and we disbursed it to young entrepreneurs to establish businesses and expand their businesses. What they did was they presented proposals, and they were helped to develop the proposals into business plans, and based on those business plans, they were given the capital to go into business. And many of them are doing very wonderfully. On Youth Day, I visited 2 of them, but there are many of them in different areas, in aquaculture, so many areas, and they're all doing quite well. And so under the next administration, we're going to expand that. We will increase the level of support under the Youth Enterprise Support Initiative to 25 million Ghana cedis a year. And so that will be 100 million Ghana cedis for 4 years. And that will go to young business people to help set up their own businesses and become employers rather than be employees.
No. Ghana Mampe outgoing, John Dramani Mahama, so next more to Jabrana, NDC Fonso, launching one campaign. Rabuku for Kwaba, Kwamna Kufu, Oya kwa kontiu. That is so we say lumba den den. No wakando. So me dey bia me kan na nyo na me ka cho. Uti lumba nyo pa kwabna kokofu say oya ka kontiu. Ona na yire say uti say anyam na. German burger. Abishapa.
Pay my power over. But the Indians are camera for.
Cobra. What's your dad? I said, we that do. Some don't press the cobra. I mean, him here, but I mean, no matter saying. And then I can't win our.
My year, I said that I might trade the amport.
Yeah, 2016. No money be over. A see ya. Ema Ghana ibi ho Ghana ni je ba Ghana botoye Ghana hu dwiri no Ghana born isem Ghana ka say we betimi asi and a whole lot of just started ya shase January the git mo be fefe mu the NHI boss mra no eso ne nan kakra na ya hwehwe mu kakra ko fa yura JB dankwa also yanti asempa late I mean for the currency Ghana at 50 a ho brochure on your consider Ghana mampanyin a ya ko fa mampanyin fu be di on mine so I can't say never again. You see deputy minister and I say never again. It's the same see that the already share film say ade we senior papa. Ye ko enim aso man no. The end see e fa ho. And ye de ko fa say court to share say ne de wa kuta NHIS a odi akotwere odin bia no. Ye hwe kwan be ye free mu. Ni asa ma wakwanya na watimi de atwero odin. Ye free court de ni be pie mu the late Jake Otanka already to nsa frɛ no. Na yehwe somode som MPP amanyuko somode som my Ghana na deputy minister kan say nipa binum wo oman Ghana mu a say the Ghana esi abom ho ka no say ba se wo to nsa the from a ade a Ghana boka kasipa na eya say Ghana de nimde dodo na ahwo mu a say nkomo kwa kosimfi bi yin say Ghana ginimde na wi ama nipa so ho ato na erade aton safer ba nya de epe ne nya ba bia ya bedu ye ade ba ko agi ho ye kakra Mahama Ford ehon sensem na afi munti 3 sentence July de bre na remission nso de ekosi ye na yewura manifesto simi ne ba manifesto no ade ba ko na do bra o mo launch de do ka se bi ni mu se amanyo kufu nyina na asa amanyo semfo nyina mo ye ba ko enye no koreda enso nye da MPP ana sunye da NDC nukure pawo asemkan e wonya bedu
mama chia na danko akufado anopai msa akra kokumase ona na bedi akire yura mudbaumia
kumase die bi no se na ndo akochia otikokoso na osakwa ejudi fufobio
hey na president elect Chira crap or baba. Oh,
deputy minister, you was
president elect him now. Meeting in Akasa baba.
Mini who could know me.
Oh, that only here could I see the
president elect. Security details and then
about nothing things are not what in the town. Emma Rebecca, incoming first lady, now second lady. Ajia Samira.
Yeah. First lady elect.
First lady incoming.
I don't know. I don't know how the first lady elect.
No, I'm quite election. Now the vice president crown. I'm quite election. Yeah.
That's debatable.
President,
vice president, then there is debatable.
President, no one answer. And a son. Utia ne pem.
Okay. Yebusa, one question, Mami Musa. Yebusa said deletion of card bearers, NHIS no. A course ne party no. Say wono edi nkuguna na. But he did observations. Say this is his personal observation. Now, for the first time, probably also your cassette. Na ehun here. Say you register no. You saturated different from. And yes, say na bloated. Name mo say na ehun here. Say odinchirimu esa asoso de ntia ne ya first one say Ghana for do na no itutu free nkura se kokrum eye pa macho me di odwaboso ede infie na me sa ba dwaboso abeto aba se pass me sa ba dwaboso no aya na eden say me kwakotru me sa koto aba odwaboso it takes few into underscore no kan tokuro ba da onipa do enti ba dwaboso back e metru ba akwanya beto I'm a dintro for by register for by.
Irrespective of the transfer system, no. Because transfer they could see BR no. Ultimately say I believe so or yasa encounter no. Niba be brina be ba also be jekes kako mu kroma na say ba constraints about to aba. So that was the reason why I'm making it.
Okay, so that's it.
Yes, sir. What has Bob Co seen that? I told you so.
Yeah, I told you so.
Okay. When I told you so. Oh, please don't
go.
Bob Co has some reasons for a new register.
The register was bloated.
Exactly.
In this case,
different
it's
from
not the
bloated. So it's not I told you so. In fact, please let's.
The catcher on 20.
One can't tell me say. The rate of migration here high, and that was not your point.
Was it Nipa do
fantastic? Fantastic. I told you. It has nothing to do with I told you so.
Come on,
the
simple thing is ye mu bi ne see any register no for.
Say migration, say you. I told you so.
Me come no, on a more serious note. And Brebia no. Utu anamon afa nipa dwumadie ho a onipa ye ho ahomete o wo de ne nkwa ha was be free ho bed enwura ha was awate akwala da ono na ohwa no
akwa no ohwa no dey see here
se obi awie na duane a kofi be kwa gina ho no akogi bie na ene maame ani we na homete na ne maame se wonim na obi awie aduane no kohwa bie mu a Jumo di be di na nyedwuma asem ketwa ti kofi so ate ne ho ase opon school waba omu neighbor be omu no omo bo fipa maami anu aduane apesie techima bayire ne bi nze de ya na aye no techima bayire ene nya ado akọ bi abomu na chisi tuhwase ya collectant na o maami kodwom na bibi ne siye na maami na eso obefi nti kofi bom pempen okoba
ni ho ahomtie
na maame no so obatan na medidi na ne baba na mo okoba hwe no kofi ne ebeje bayire no ba ko bi kofi atimi anyina temptation na no na ko tene ne santi maame ndi bayire ne abomu to ne sema na o maame pie say hey man na de bayire ato me sem no when you bayire maame de no kukunye o
baby bayire no enye me na bi to be se enye me na mkoji yo
dabi
bayire na be to be se
ono ni sada de bi ono ana obi de bayire abeto ne sem atiase man na de ne bayire abeto me se enti wa ho ye ho ahomete enu nti ne ye ka se register na wo ho no omamu wiase afana mema nyinara ofa percentage ipadodo a wo manum na hwe voter register almost a they are cost cry about 42%, 43%. We are see standard. Yeah, they are almost 53 as 56%. Enti no no kwa se kira o set se de menu ayi kan. O chiro ni din dwabo so. So be pa so be san be bio ni ade ye chiro din foforo wo kwapem no fa. Se me krum ameno krum ana manfia. No san ko chiro din ho bio. Ebi kura na transfer na de ne ko voter who as a teacher na you say ye the card ayira you say ye new no akwako ye bibio mo maye na ada ye ho ye system na ye wo no entimi detect
nyoma no
yes enya centralized system
need the wo so ga kopeda me wo bolia and I say me wo achina kuruma say me churo me di wa achina ye centralized system beti me say come na to achina kuruma to pause one yi ni di ne plan.
That's it. It is a centralized answer no mo de be gugugu mu na be centralized ni nyina na adem na take time off na register na bloated afen so ye ni proper data system ewo awo ene ewuo ho nhihye de ye friend say nipa awu afiri mu say ukọ na akọje ni trikrata na ade ne kọ homam say ono wa firim ye wo bi na nya adwuma say de say ye na wakọkora say mabusuani asmesi wawu nti mesramo travel imunyin din film eno de oba certificate abakwa ko picture nti oni akwa na okopɛ no be ni nyina da ho na obeye den na watimi ehuhu we nyina gise ene wo de katoka so na ase yenya ade no foforo na afi yemfa nneema ngu akwam ebetimi aboa ama sempo the family can say migration or say the me can say obi awuo no wo so na eso ate adwempo ana techira no na onim ye betumi aye na ayeyi a eno na ewura na adanko akufuado kan bra ye bontoa National Identification Authority for adwuma say Ghana ni biara ye wo to ho nga ya register ye nya sa database no nti udum fie du nwotwe a nya obi na ebe kan tell say system na editect say
kona formalize
just say you had want to the register provided say wadwene mu da ho han say the constitution it obi free mu a then the birth and death registry ye adwuma na if feed into the system input na yiko de bia ye ko ben ene ye nye dene pisa a commitment say we are buying now the sewer ni so so be ya e be boa Ghana bebre yabosia gige no banki munyuma mu mutimi obi timi be ya adwuma ha ne bi kura munim na kira kwan ya taxi a taxi kawo na wato taxi obi beba osimi taxi driver no answer odi just ochina na yasemi ka ayira enti all the immigration and then kuya nipa dodo se kura na ye adwuma wo mem bisi ne yenim kuya pa ye ka de bia kuya iti yenim ye farmers population yenim dodo nipa dodo pa so me ye obi ye kuya adwuma wo mem we do not know ti data ne de ehun hia papa na ebe solve kwamna problem in and am so ne ye register no fofora ye easy ebe boa nya fe ne ye kokon hwa na ye Ghana ni hwa na nye hwa ni na hwa wo ho data na yin wo ho National Identification na oni ma de ayre hu National Identification Authority for omadwuma kofom nyina omunya adwuma no omu register non-citizens unse your non-citizens they all and the non-citizen card near advertise we are non-citizen brand and register but citizens name be boy for planning your hospital sem any adi ni when NHIS a year ni yesu if feed into that data koje driving license
bibia ho
feed into koje passport feed into ubo udina kofi manu no ho ahwan me baby am ti dem me free Germany there wo car na akra wo de ko na wo car number na oti ono police ni neti ne car mu di wachi ebo wo car number esese wo bibia yi ba so kakra betumi aduro na aban we a obebe ya ba no ho ba na danko akufuado akase e beyo ya ka no so obeso afnem no nyambe ya adom ya de niam begu akwam e be solve minia honorable kwabna kind of problem no amano register ne be na kama migration ni ade nyina you take care of
yeah I told you so bia na be
I told you so no there
onya suahunu bi wo na
na woni ma de ye respect ade ye enne ni ananka onim ana onim po a na adwene ye ne na mire bi beba bibi beba na suahunu bebam eno ne friends experience teaches the best eno ti ana namde azikewe o say he who do not know but do not know that he do not know is a fool shun him. He who knows but do not know that he knows is asleep, awake him. But he who knows and knows that he knows is a wise man, follow him. What I say, a level of addition, ye koye nimu no, ye hunu niema, ye koye nimu. So
etini omase.
Je etini omase. Ani ye krampo a ye di nkunimi. O ka se ni nyina na ye pepepe sa. Ye timi transi ne se. Ade na ke ye ni se ya. Be ye. Ade ke ye ni se ya because me kai pa bibi o se di gu akwam yi a kaminu sit ke je. Yeah, and Hon say from Soka.
Right. So July 2016, June rather, and 4 don't sense you could see what you saw.
No, many answer.
Shraj cry report on the by one answer.
Many answer back cry. It's a parliament on the floor of parliament. Now your petition, ye minority for Sabreno. Now your leaders, honorable say Chairman Sabunsu, and honorable Niti Woody anymore. Na yesre papa speaker say yenso amamuo no nkura bata no ye ne etoso mienu enti say yenuanom a omunu di kan ye executive do da no ne ho aba ntansa se ya yen ye wakwanya say ye hwehwem na say bibi saa bia ni mu a yetimi sign ye man paninity na no ho sign bibi wo mu a ne apen pomasibre nti yenya akwanya ne yenhwehwem speaker ne majority for se da nyame yakwan na ade no was Sraj ene hwan but ye ho de ne che Sraj yan parliament ye ho adin mrama yakwan tumi chen Sraj adwumakuo eti sa asem kodi Sraj na yen ntimi ntu ho anamon de a ene na bie so eti ayade a aha adwen se ko mu ye no ma kwan ene ehwehwe mu na bibia anim na ka president na ne hu so sabrobe ene we aye menyini se wo mu akra ndisi fo na mu no ebinum kra nwunwu se Sraj report no kra am se nya papa bebrebe nti se ayi baby am ko ya mbei ye bo president soundbite bi na abra na honorable babe nom ne mpenifu bi wa NDC mu na omu bo ne tiri so de na ban tiri so se ne manya president Kasai more soundbite na obetumi am ya bo ama.
Okay, so Ford was some more. He seems not to be okay with the course of Ford.
Omahine nkoni udi nkugu a enye ja se kira asem bibia na yedi akoswe se enunti na ma odi nkugu na ma menka asem bi menu apanyi kansem bebre efa register ne ho omahene se me ba eha na me no be ye program na me say sa paper ye kutami yemfanto ha wona wo se yemfanto ha nti wo be kire mi mu ne nti a wo fi se yemfanto ho nti wo nkire mu na anye papa na se emmumu no akina nkire mu fofo bi ba e wo se obi e wo sanke de to ha eno enkire se wo kan se yemfanto ha no e wo se ye de bo ba ma wo na afterthought meme nyina so a me de kan se ebia anka ye yaade ne fofo beboa no different from reasons our man nyina reasons our man nyina no your system wo ho a anka if you say effectively no e be take care of it because of course say nye nipa dodo ne pese won beto aba na ye obi a wawu nko ade a enya me gidi ye say omahene nipa wawu no on sorry e ma meto aba
okay
e me capture ne bio data or machines no so what I say and for me I mean coming from fresh elections no the man who ni say even at the D-Day na ye koto aba apart from me feel say na can even transfer of vote in the I dealing with that particular aspect but on the day of voting let me who say there were still a lot of people who are going to man come be nya paper some baba yedin on ba beto on maba and that is the more reason why me feel say see a year no less than 1 year to the elections now no ebeboy it's not about reasons am can that is it so let's let the fact be issues about Ford it was a mere I mean political gimmicks na ya de bia ono person mo de ya amanyosem na emwa obia
but we okay with
say Shaja Shishwe mo de fund this no
we okay with it
I'm okay
it's
fine.
Not about Shaja but we okay
with which one
with their course you
see different from say
exactly
the point exactly the point I can make can me feel say oh krata yi me de ato ho me nyamfum so bia say me de krata na to ho kanesa na bia o chena no say me nya sa kwanye na anka krata me fanto ho different from say why yamfum so hu dia course nyina no bia ye mra pon nim na adwen fanya o mampanyi fa so di sa adwuma na onye bone bia
probably your lawyer wa also unamu a obaye nyame ye adoma na ye so ordinarily ye bebusa say ye di nim say na di mampanyi say what so a achede kra no kwa ofa so agene ho asem bisa wo honom ebi ni de na no da aboso kan ye say mampanyi out of eye edonia humobro watu ni botom ebia ode a sika ema obi ye wo beka say ye wade nyina ho kwan so nyene nyina na etimi fertilizer asembisa ne say ye koyanim no enye se we ese da ha ana ankoda na ese we na ye nim pefe se mra chichiri ni pa binum ti se wo
ye ni sa mra no
ene
de o mampanyi eyeye no de o mampanyi eyeye no mra bia ni ho a chichiri no that's the point I'm making okay but on a moral argument say ebia obi feel say okay omampanyi na ni kwan say obi abeche wade e woje but ye ni mra bi e wo ho say sa de na wo de beche omampanyi no sa de na influence na take decision be in favor of the person
afa ho ye bebrebe na free MP
so intino ka mama
for no sympathy
intino na ye the cry a wo mu jan maka kire no ya ben abato emre enu ntini yempe bibi amanyosem
emu ohare
yempe ohun say wo aban mu a enche na obi atwa ntora to so say wo ye corrupt because wo aban mu ebi kura mata de ehemi obi feel say sabi impreduasa menye MP no na minisa atade we nje neso akoto satade dia ene enye ba akonye mienu ene bia nti sa temptation no ho nti sa wonya bibi ketua bi na ogina so na botwene no den pa ne wan hwe ya na to amanfo asum say ebeye no kre nti sa corruption charges and allegations am dey ato mampanyin so from day one ni nyina no so we abade a ene yenye hu dede na ye amanfo hu say no kre bi wom meanwhile no ne wo constitutionally mandated body bi a ya hwe hwehwe mu ase so ye na ka parliament ye shase entam kra eja wo no mo anka na different issue altogether. Okay. For me, I am myself purely am myself.
Constitution, Article 275 or so. Me person may precise. So what conflict of interest situation. Public. Omampeni nankasa etintim nkrata eye ebeboa akyerɛkyerɛ ono ana pamfo anamontu asisi omutuo ewo a friend say o madwuma yem nkrata no mu no ewo mu se owo bi bisam ewo mu se won
conduct of public officers.
Yes o ji akyɛde nyi akyɛde na sempo be ji akyɛde ana bibia ensese bro sikatini bi 2000 Ghana cedis onim na o ji akyɛde so kra esese wo de kyerɛ atese ne wafa asase de no amfa nkyerɛ timi dan okro no
krono no
o ti ase
wafa asase de
krono no moral issue. A moral issue. Ye papa nom ne na nanom tete ho no se be ye na wanamuntuo be pepepe. Ye sisa wo fa no form kra
fa be kire. Ejaminam na misaka wi.
Nti na sansa ofa de a.
O de kire.
Na akɔgye no kude ye de kye okude. Ye ho kɔ ba asem. Afi na ase na me de kɔ aban ye kɔhwehwɛ ye de kɔ aban kam. Ka yi nso nkrata ni andi adanse ye se ye kotua ho duty. Eyi de bai fie ama ye ma ne number wabre nyina nim se ade a ye de che amampanifo na won dane de ma oman e wo ho eye adwuma de bia eye ne ntentem so enti se won tansa sikatua ne ade bi o wa so wo ma de a ye de abre omampani o ma de enti we de ye tax exemption ana ye tua ho to enyi na se o tua ho to na oje se wankasa wo de a
free of money
sheyem.
That's not a statement of fact. It is not.
It
is not.
It
is very close to misleading the public.
Enti wo say emre bia ni ho a echichire.
This is the constitution.
Omampani.
Open to that
emre bia ni ho. Conflict of interest situation. Sebe ya wo ye adwuma oman adwuma. Na wa wo ye die ana bibibia ebema obi foforo anya akwanya foforo bi. Saa na montuo na wo ho. Ana omampani na gina so no wahyehyɛ amamu wo na ayesoafo wo ye deputy minister odasoye deputy minister wo bi yibregi no bra na kan na wo nyina tie wo bi a kyerɛ wo sɛ anyi akyɛde na wo gi akyɛde bi mpo a ensese bru 2000 Ghana cedis enti emu sɛ ye ho sɛ omampani hyehyɛ saa mra na amamu no ɔno no de na nka ne bia na ɔno de wo ye omampani nti ɔbro saa mra no so ara na Ford ne bo no abro 2000 and no 2000 eniema bi o ha be bia ya dure no me kamu benya mitumfu na mbetia nkamu nya botre nkohwehwe kwa kura ya Ghana fo ne mu ani ni
ene power bent na ukasa sana
o na sasa me kasa kwa na mkasa mazisa
na wona abekire direction mo fa
o so ni wa ye me lawyer consultant e free metinya jiska but we me se me ye no kwa me de ma won kwa Omo kwa because tie
opposition
wo de nya hwe
and now you consultant
oh na say na me ba na ya mama ideas de bia na mo
bi wa na so be charge omu hia mo famra
ade wa party amba pa
we kwamra ene ana me de aba pa onya memre na emre pa Ebenezer
God's time
the
battle is the Lord
yes
it continues to be the Lord
na ye twa urade so anim sa nyu wi abomam
ma twa urade anim wabra na so ase ehonum na okay yenkoso
onwe la minye na wow say we
ese ba ka chichiro ho ma wu direction
it is simple and teacher ni na say emre mu no mampan etia emre
this is a supreme it is a supreme what do you call it, law of the land law be anyway
honorable community sometimes say we don't necessarily have to go by this where our maybe sometimes me say because
it means there is mra and there is a penalty to that effect.
Okay, so mra bia ni wa e kire se kwa mampan fa so na e sinto wa hihie.
Exactly. Kwabra, esema mi ni e ka odi afa ne ho nyina. Wase say. O say, so wofa ade kra ofom. Na sa ade na abefa na ofom no. Wa mfa nkyere a e say ekro no.
The eya akoye se.
Ekro no. Yes sir.
Na wafa ade wo PM ha ya. Na wafa no wa. Osu nim se nipa wa ha atwa wo hia. Na bia cameraman for pam choma na wo jana ade ato.
And no put na wo sanka sa asem na onu aka ye no gina so no ka se asemi ana niema na mo de ba o mampanyi e wa adwen fan e da sa asem no. Omampanyi as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says John Dramani Mahama no different from the President of Republic of Ghana. Oh, Anunti, listen, please.
No, that separation is quite difficult because
in his private capacity.
Tobo na mami kan de mra no ma chapter 24 of 1992 Constitution of Ghana, page 157. Article 284. Nitira sem na tifia sem no. Osi Code of Conduct for Public Officers. Article 284 no okan say a public officer shall not put himself in a position where his personal interests conflicts or is likely to conflict with the performance of the functions of his office.
In this case, it's likely.
Maybe. Yes.
You're confusing the issues.
No, in this case, it's likely.
Likely.
He's even making matters worse.
If he said, what? My papa,
No. I want to read.
What? I read it 284. Pages in Yamakancho. President or a public officer now.
Correct.
That time I did for the man, no a vice president, no a public officer now.
Correct.
Good. Now, Ford no about the park no the Ford and the buy. See him no. Kanazui, yes sir. Or a contractor. President Crabon Abaso ye Juma pa. Yes sir. Okay. Now or per Juma or Ghana ha. No when you Juma or Ghana ha. Yes sir. Okay. Enti se eba ne sa na sa yon kofa no ho a. Na ono no beche onipa na wotumi so betimi aboa na me na ye adwuma beche na de a. Enti se enti se
anya hwe kra no.
The man is getting everything wrong.
It's likely to. What you say?
Ebetimi.
Yeah, nyame na make camera no o kan omra no na kwotwe bai. That is what the Constitution says.
Omahine. You see, let us not mislead the public.
Mama ento was say unya akwanya se osumo my Ghana. Enkotua na mombia ni ebeye te sede. Ebeye te sede ana sede.
Listen to Titi or say a public officer shall not put himself in a position where his personal interest conflict or is likely to conflict with the performance of the function of his office.
In this case, is that what?
Yes, it's there.
Is that what has happened in the fourth?
That is the problem. That's what I'm saying, that he's getting it wrong. You first and foremost also establish say the contract now depending na mo say enunti no papa na komano adamudie no. What was the role of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama? I was adding And no na all refer to the function of the president or the public officer.
And no na maintiasian.
You see, so that's what I'm saying. I mean that they are doing choose.
No, but whether the president was the vice president then or
even,
not,
yes, of course,
it makes it because our influence in a baby or finding Hubiano. The vice president,
it's not true.
A member
of parliament,
it's not true. A president.
No, don't deceive yourself. It's not true. Yes.
At the end of the deceive one. No problem. And you come know how.
There be about the charity. Oh, how? Now we are kind of broken. Yeah, no, see, and Tiasi, on Cassie and Cadu. Okay, you know, one or Tiasi. Maybe the aircraft.
Oh, the latter part of the provision or say there should be some performance of a specific function. So what I say, there should be a performance of a specific function.
In this case,
in this case, what was the performance?
Okay, my performance.
So what I say, what was the performance? You see,
my performance.
Please. Let us moral argument. No, the legal argument. The point is that I am your son. I'm a person. In the chenchine train, years won't just say. The other kind is about Timu Posa Mampanyaja.
No, but
meanwhile, listen, meanwhile, Mampanyi acquire fast so I can buy. A process. Process no Ghana, I hope Burkina Faso, Ghana, so yeah, Burkina Faso. That is Ghana. So what I say. In the Quanya, your fast so I can buy a Ghana and a Jibre Ghana. One can say, so what time at the end of that's one fan chara? I just say, warrior. A bedroom, or Mampanian Cassian Franco Bolin Banco same fee. Was say, Ghana sure ye Cassia a share who do the fact is, some Mampani are more than no one for Bantam for one free Mimiakofu, I'm a catcher, said Brad. Say, ya dear Shana Bremeno, and say, one fine Ghana.
Okay. Yo, maybe come in. What we say a function, BBB. Sir, Ghana, and a G, you know about Burkina Faso, ambassador.
Yes.
Na sa kratino. Ya manu contract ya all two fesu, chafasu.
Afa
Ghana ayum.
Ghana share.
Wanya adwuma, there was a function. There was something. Remember, your man adwuma. When you went in our fire by. Say, public accounts come. Oh, please. I said when you are not public accounts committee. Auditor General. Or man, Mraman Council Yedum. Or no name cratem. I know what church running now woman said near maybe hard, didn't it? A hard dinner copim said Ghana share ye war Burkina Faso. First you keka you could chafa home. I am Jericho first you. Secretary at the actus one at Chinason into Parliament, our Public Accounts Committee. Omudu you muko you say cracksina. Onyas our contract, no, yes, a Jumano war. Your honor. On one is our cratch cronana or the Ford. You bet chair president. Zabra no ye vice president. So it is so many others here, which now they are dance. You see, you need political, you need election.
We are unable to say, a president intent here very obvious, clear. Unyakano. Name said the SSC intent the kissing said, Nadia Nebema, Wakojina, Colances officer, correct. I don't do ever Ghana for. And to Parliament, young Wakwenya, near Shim. And a speaker named majority form said that Mompene. I was Sraj. Now say, check a year, shall see him. Now Sraj, not fear a pra, my pra. Do a moony papa, I'd bought a friend a pra. A pracket to who a pracasia. Oh, a bobo. Anti Sraj or T Parliament dinner, such Sraj or conform as so bobo. Sraj, I said you may say, speaker say, me provision.
or taking the powers from the constitution. It's a creation of the constitution. So it's not an issue of Aprakasi. It's a clear. Bibi was a constitution.
Apra to hold it to me.
Supremacy. Supremacy from the constitution of
yes.
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 I'm saying me I'm so saying where me but now your money host I say sorry call
probably we can tie in this one now for any rapport said the king and I call for be my bass and present umu oje na hin wakwa him no president too agusua o MPP4 nsimomoka and say odi nipa bi etuatua nyumaku bi ano na ofa for nipa bi nso wonyumam na o sinsa contract ahodo na o mama nipa bi akwanya and also a part of the functions of the office but the New Patriotic Party raising issues relating to that.
Masa famayi mami. Mami kan assembly ewo ha tiawa ansana mako my submission so I am say ewo article 67 article 67 of the 1992 constitution. Na the okani 64 69 I'm saying 66. Term of office of president. Or say, a person elected as president shall, subject to clause 3 of this article, hold office for a term of 4 years, beginning from the date on which he is sworn in as president. Inti yemra ponwa ye nyina edidi dwuma no ekere se se yeto abama obi na ye sworn in say na de be sworn in on the 7th January ni wia o infie 9 so obey your mampanyi so what you say inti any constitution ni mu ba bia je obi ebetumi abie sa provision na me say
to be appointed
neba say ye yi president elect pe na nya power sharing say the substantive president now as outgoing president no also consult to the president elect and now so say only kwan me person be kire me in the constitution and any statute in this country say yenye yi president elector I was say sir president elect no ye consulting on issue and I say outgoing president no on ne president no share the powers ye tie nyina ne say ya to abawie there's a transition period and ye hwe ne mamu ne hand over to the president elect na ama 7 what me yaso ne in eno nkire say omampanyi na oho no ne tumi no ontumi fa ndidwuma enko soro ena e ma afom nti ade bia his excellency John Dramani Mahama etumi ye no 2 years ago no otumi ye ne
okay so Ghana ni bi say why confirming Shraj NCC now appointed
bia governance bia and then the T akopie say na process
okay
nti enye na na ye sha ase and the interesting argument they say and this is not the first time as anema way asi be it appointment or whatever okaya emra ye wurakofo obefra ban mu no even single spine salary structure or sign on the 6th of January kohwe emra ye dey appoint ye wura 24 fie mabeka no afia Cocoa board CEO so no na emeye CEO Cocoa board samre no what was this moral argument and before that I'm kai intermediate say bia enne no yenya ne ye emra and ye hu say esinto bi wo ho na mom yentena se ne yensa kire mu a I don't have a problem with it but me man nye say omampanyi atia mra bi
kwamra no me so
enu nti yemu na se nuem I see two things here me di wie obedu osunya botre me hu niema mienu e wa ha ba ko oh niema we omaya akakra me awie sanko mu ja akoya nko mampanyi a ye to abayi no ba ko ba be no age credit no oh de to so mienu oh yama nkofo bosha kese na ni the sia no akakra ne relatives na catch up with us ndiyam panyina so bi oh nye nim de na wo ho oh enam so mampanyi ato amanfo salary mu nti oh enam so mampanyi ye say nti no enu nti no sa bosha we ya ye ebia nti sa niema mienu ida se baako ana mienu no I can be wrong
kwamna kokofu wrap up my
but yes idea there's nothing in the constitution I trust
winning about the say na ya fa pen ne paper ni take notes ni esua de transition 2001 anya fe wo mayim abra NDC free adwamu na MPP aba niema wantwi niema bi niema bibiri anye fe 2009 saa niema kro no dodo na san de ne ho bae eti ye ba ye nimu no ana adwumakuo a ye frɛ no aye eye adwenchekere ye nhyehyɛ ne ade sponsor bill bi a friend presidential transition bill ne de ba parliament ne ye sasas ye ne be ye presidential transition law enu na sese ye operation anti constitution ye brother emra kese se provision adbibi bi o constitution mu a emra na amatumi ama parliament kwan say yetimi hyehye mra aye friend act and even LI legislative instruments your regulations na ye de adma sa provision krona wa ha no atimi aye adwuma se de sitie enti ye wo sa mra no wo ho mra ne sesen I think at section 6 3 and 36 mu ba ko esini pefe se akabo some ame ato aba
fa abamu nkrata
wo abamu no fa wo nkrata nyina adwumadi a waye nyina ye handing over nose president wo ne wa pamfo nyinara fa koja de friend administrator general na wo de sa wo nkrata no fa ne a waye a atwam ko ana de ne wo adwini mu senka wo beye so obesa abamu biewa fa ni nyina gu krata na fa koma administrator general akabo some ame ato aba enti na yamra fie the one samra bia ni ho no enya no kre mra ho na yamra fie se wo say president ko
can I be bisa law ben
presidential transition
actually no musesan so onye president biem
onye so onye president biem
to
you
getting all of us
yes they educate you to the extent say we are president we are president na yakabo sume ame abeto aba fa won sise no niam nyina koja administrator general enti at that time no we gina transient enti fa Ghana japade Ghana sika Ghana bibia atwurugu nkrata so na fa koja nipa bia ya constitution ya na friend administrator general.
Okay, my main for interest from outgoing President John Dramani Mahama has justified his last-minute decision to make appointments to certain key departments and agencies, saying he had not broken any law.
Exactly.
According to him, there is no malice intended for the incoming Nana Akufo-Addo-led New Patriotic Party administration, adding that the decisions were taken for the good of the country.
Full stop. And you know, say 1 month ago, 7th November, or the Koja Administrator General now. Appointment now why na anu yi no ntie wom
okay edibisia
so clearly and you for president before the eba and one that time need transitional idea and you think ya for ya new na ya yem ran
kokofu
ya yem ran yes I can do
okay so shadow producer meba shadow producer minister Ashanti region outgoing John Alexander Korn say, where was Honorable Kokofu when during the reign of President Kufuor, the NPP prevented Parliament from going into his by Honorable Babin in that of Dr. I don't get it. Furthermore, remind him that even as a regional minister, I still have a constitutional mandate in that capacity until the 6th of June. Anyway, the handing over cannot be done after leaving office. Hence, the one-man provision, but it does not take away your constitutional mandate.
But you must work within tandem.
Okay.
We are outside your notes. Handing over notes.